Hey, I'm Jesse. Let's have a devotion. We're in Matthew chapter 8. Yesterday we see two guys come up to Jesus. One of them is a scribe, and he says, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. This other one says, let me go bury my father first. That's a year-long process, and if this guy was the oldest son, he had to be there the whole time and then rebury his father's remains at the end of that year. And Jesus' response was seemingly harsh, let the dead bury their dead. What I want to zoom in on today is Jesus' reference to himself in that passage. As he tells the first guy, the scribe, look, heads up, you got to know what it's going to cost you to follow me. The young man in verse 19 of Matthew 8 says, teacher, I will follow you wherever you go. And then Jesus' response is, foxes have dens and birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. So Son of Man, the capital S and the capital M, refer to this as this prophetic title. Here's where this comes from. It's Daniel, an Old Testament prophetic book, one of the major prophets, as we call it, chapter 7, verse 13 and 14. I continued watching in the night visions, and suddenly one like a son of man was coming with the clouds of heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days, also capitalized like a prophetic proper title, and was escorted before him. He was given dominion and glory and a kingdom so that those of every people, nation, and language should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will not be destroyed. This is where we get the prophetic title of the Son of Man. And when Jesus refers to himself as the Son of Man, he is evoking this prophetic passage about himself. His kingdom is one that will not be destroyed. His dominion is an everlasting dominion. His dominion will never pass away. Every people, every nation, every language is going to serve him, and he has been given this kingdom. He is the one who is escorted before the Ancient of Days. He is the one who comes with the clouds of heaven. He is the one in Daniel's vision. Jesus would do this. We see this at the opening of the Gospel of Mark. Take out a prophecy like Isaiah. Stay tuned, that's our next book. And say, today this passage is fulfilled in your hearing. To refer to himself as the Son of Man, which he does 28 times in the Gospel of Matthew, is to proclaim himself the Christ, the Anointed One, the Lord, the one prophesied from of old. He is the Word. He is the Word of God alive. When Jesus spoke, words were added to the Word. By virtue of his birth, he fulfills the Word. And now, because of who he is, we see the Word prophetically fulfilled. The Son of Man has come. He is alive, and he is Jesus. This one whose dominion would never end, this one whose kingdom would not pass away, this one who would have everlasting authority, is also humble among men. He has no place to lay his head. He leads this nomadic ministerial lifestyle. Even foxes have dens, even birds have places to live, but the Son of Man, this one with everlasting dominion, would have no place to lay his head. His kingdom is not of this world right here and now as he speaks. He knew that he would come back one day. He knew that it wasn't about his earthly abode and dwelling place while he roamed on the earth. Like, he knew that his throne was in heaven, that all of this was his, that he is the Lord, but it was not about having comfortable accommodations while he's on earth. Am I preaching to anybody right now? Right? If I am, I probably should take my hat off. Right? That it's not about his earthly lifestyle. It's about the kingdom forevermore. And it didn't look like much from the outside. He didn't seem like much. In fact, people would ask questions about him. Isn't this Mary and Joseph, the son of the carpenter? They would ask the question, can anything good come from Nazareth, where Jesus came from? But he's the Son of Man, the one prophesied from of old. God has done this since the beginning. Seemingly inauspicious origins lead to these fantastic truths. It turns out to be everything. He would use the seemingly unqualified, like Moses, to lead his people. He would choose the runt of Jesse's sons, David, to be the king over all. He would choose to use the seemingly humble and inauspicious, and all the while he gets 100% of the glory for it. Jesus, while he walked the earth, he would live this humble lifestyle, but he is eternally and forevermore the Son of Man, as prophesied in Daniel chapter 7, verses 13 and 14. So when you see Son of Man come up in our study of Matthew, that's where it came from. Prepare to see it a whole lot more.